Yo, what is going on, everybody? IG here, back with another video. Hopefully everyone's having a good day today. I just woke up, I got my coffee going, and I scroll on Twitter and I see some breaking news. I guess I shouldn't say breaking news, but it's some news we can get into. So Kyrie is apparently at an impasse with the Brooklyn Nets, which, surprise surprise, who did not see that coming, right? Considering the situation that happened this past season with the whole vaccination, and then he was a part-time player, and then I think at one point throughout this season, I believe he just kind of took a break. He left the team for a couple days for some personal days. Obviously it played a part when they came back as far as the playoffs. Once he did return, he did have a couple good games, but you can just tell the chemistry just wasn't there. So I guess you kind of saw like the writing on the wall between Kyrie in Brooklyn. I know that's KD's guy, but from an ownership standpoint, especially with his new deal potentially coming into play, with the player option, you know, I can see Brooklyn. They're not going to try to want to pay him all this money, especially for a player that is kind of been inconsistent over the last couple years. So what does that mean? I know they talked about the Lakers potentially having interest in Kyrie. Lakers are on the same page, right? I know AD and Braun, they've talked highly of Westbrook. You know, they don't, you know, they try to back Westbrook, which they should. That's their teammate. But from a ownership standpoint, you know, they're kind of realize how Russ was this past year, and then kind of see as well that whether the coach, whether there was Vogel, whether how he managed Russ, how he utilized Russ, whatever the case may be, they weren't on the same page. I feel like Lakers, if they have the opportunity, they will be more than willing to move Russ. So why not, right? Two dysfunctional companies right here, two dysfunctional teams, Brooklyn and Lakers. Would they be willing to make something happen? Can you imagine Kyrie and Braun back together considering their situation? And then can you imagine Russ and KD back together considering their situation, their past history? Me personally, I can't see it happening, but it's nice to talk about. It's nice to see people's like reactions right now. But yeah, I can't see it happening, but if it did somehow magically happen, as far as Kyrie ended up on the Lakers, like how fitting is that, right? Kyrie's dysfunctional, the Lakers are dysfunctional. Just put them two together. It's just one big happy dysfunctional family. But I mean, Kyrie had his best years while playing with LeBron, and then you put him with AD on top of that. That would be a nice dynamic. I mean, that would be a nice trio. I would definitely say Kyrie, Braun, AD fits so much better compared to a Russ, AD, and Braun. Obviously, you know, two different skill sets, but it definitely would fit much better amongst those three compared to the current constructed three. Same for, you know, Brooklyn. Who knows? Like, who knows what's going to go on with Russ? You know, there's a lot of talks. Maybe he reaches, you know, I don't want to say a buyout, but I mean, obviously he's going to opt in, right? You know, why wouldn't he opt into the money? Just as far as what ends up happening with Russ, I feel like Russ needs to be on a team that's just not like a Pacers, right? Like he needs to be on a low market type of team, not a lot of like publicity on him, where he can kind of I don't want to say stat pat, but he can kind of just do his own thing without that added pressure, because as you can see this past year, they crumbled under pressure. So overall, Kyrie to the Lakers, you know, that's going to be the talk. Can I see it happening? No. Would I like to see it happen? Of course. I would like to see that again. Especially, I think, from the money standpoint, I think Kyrie's like 36.1 million compared to like Russ's 47.1. I know that's not a huge difference, but I mean, every little dollar helps, especially when it comes to the NBA. You can kind of maneuver that money around. That can kind of help build the rest of the roster. And again, like I said, Kyrie and Braun, they had their best years together. Specifically Kyrie, he had his best years playing alongside Braun. I think kind of getting away from one another in the maturity level from Kyrie. I know he's kind of talked about it in some past interviews, that if he realized if he understood what he does now compared to back then, it'd be a whole different conversation. So what do you guys think? Do you think Kyrie and the Brooklyn are gonna part ways? Do you feel like right now this is just all like just a big, publicity standpoint as far as it's the start of free agency? The draft is like 3 days away, so we're just trying to get those clicks up, those news articles going, or can you actually see Kyrie actually splitting from Brooklyn this offseason? Let's not put out. I know they also mentioned the Clippers. They also mentioned the Knicks, so it's not just the Lakers, but me personally, just I'm a Braun guy, I would just want him to be on the Lakers. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think is gonna happen with Kyrie? What do you guys think gonna happen with Westbrook? What's your guys? Leave some of your thoughts down below. I'm curious to see. And as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications because I do definitely have more videos coming out here shortly. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.